Hello there.
To yet another episode of Doctor Who Time and Space.
I'm D Cool.
And I'm Lewis Moon.
And welcome.
Welcome.
What do we have on this week's show? What number are we on this week?
Episode 155.
Crumbs.
155.
Yeah, we have it. 155. That's roughly 155 hours plus of Doctor Who Time and Space action.
It's probably around 160.
Probably is. Because we're usually just a little bit over the hour, aren't we?
Yeah, and
Usually
I
a little bit
remember
over
one
the
week we did it, not on YouTube, but it was when we used to do them on Audacity.
Mm-hmm.
And other stuff. And we did it for an hour and a half, or maybe over that.
We did, yeah. And there was another day where we did 2 lots, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because
we've done that on YouTube before. We've done them a lot of times.
Because we love being here so much. What do we love about this week's show? What have we got? What's coming up today? Sorry, I asked you that just as you were taking a big sip of drink, didn't I?
We are continuing. After a very short break last week, we are continuing our Monster Analogy series. Looking at this week, the Sontarans.
Ooh. We'll also be giving a roundup, or a full roundup of our viewing of the last randomizer episode of Ambassadors of Death. John Pertwee classic.
And maybe a bit too classic in your opinion.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later, and you can challenge me down on it.
I will. We've got another round of quiz or question, and it may be one of our last for a while. Not our last, but one of our last for a while.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that later on as well.
We'll also be pressing the magic randomizer button to see what we'll be viewing next week. Hey, always one of the favourite bits in the show.
And we'll be looking at the news this week.
Okay, good stuff.
So, how have you been this week?
I've been very well, thank you very much.
Good,
thank you. Yes,
good.
It's been a very busy week. Been out and about a fair bit. So it seems like a little bit like a bit of a sort of repetition, really. But I've not really watched that much again this week.
Neither have I, actually.
Yeah. I mean, certainly Who-wise, the Ambassadors of Death, which we'll be talking about later on.
And that's true to me as well. I think the only thing I watched Who related this week was Ambassadors of Death.
Yeah.
And that's very rare. Need to crack on with the arc, really, but...
Yeah. As I say, I mean, for me, outside of it, because we usually talk about other geeky stuff that we've been doing, which isn't Doctor Who related, but is geek related, I guess. I've been watching, I can't remember, I probably mentioned it the last week, but I've watched the second half of the first series of Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, yes.
Really enjoyed that, actually. I know the new season started, and I've been...
What did you think about the end of the series? Did you think it was... Did you agree with what you'd heard?
No.
Okay.
Because, so what you're thinking of is that one of my friends said that he stopped watching, didn't bother watching the last episode because he thought it was really good and then became like an inferior version of The Walking Dead. I actually didn't really get that because I still think you're dealing here with not proper zombies sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's still more of a threat, the unknowing of it all and stuff. So
okay.
I didn't really find that at all. So
okay.
I can see where he's coming from, and I think possibly as time goes on, possibly with the next series, it's just started last couple of weeks on AMC.
Has it started already?
Yeah, on
Really?
AMC, so it's not on now.
Oh,
Sky, it's on AMC.
Did it start on Monday?
I've got a feeling I'm in the previous Monday. I think it might have been 2 weeks worth. Oh no! I think you're right. No, you're right.
Dead would have been the
yeah, no, you're right. It was this Monday. So there's only been the one so far, but I've not got around to watching that yet.
You can't watch it, can you?
I can actually, because I get AMC here. So on my BT box, it's one of the channels. So I videoed it basically, or whatever you call it. What do you call it these days? It's not videoing anymore.
Record.
Yeah, recording. See, I'm old school. I video stuff. Aside from that, the other thing we've been watching, of course, is Wolf Blood.
Yes, we have.
Is it Wolf
been
Blood or
watching
Wolf's Blood? I can never remember.
Wolf Blood.
Wolf Blood.
Wolf Blood.
Um,
Yeah, that ended this week, series 4.
Hmm.
That was good.
That's a CBBC program.
For kids and teenagers and young adults and people.
And me.
And some adults do like it.
Yeah. I've been enjoying watching that with you, actually. It's been good. Yeah. So that's probably about everything to report from
I've been
myself.
watching some Red Dwarfs.
Of course, yeah.
Yes,
and you've got
finished series 3.
Yeah, which you're into. What I think the first 2 series are good, but I think it really comes into its own in series 3 when Crichton comes into it as a main character. I think that's when you've got the 4, well, probably 5 really, isn't it? If you can include Holly, when you've got like the crew of 5, it becomes far more powerful.
Because Holly is credited above Crichton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's
strange.
So, I mean, it's very reminiscent of Blake 7, really, I think, in many respects. And we'll talk a bit about Blake 7 when we get onto the news.
We will.
Alas, unfortunately.
Yes.
So, anything else to report from your doings during the week?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing much this week. Full stop.
Full stop. So, there we have it. Let's crack on then, shall we, with the news?
Yes, I'll just get my news.
Do we have any news this week?
We do have some.
Yeah.
Not anything like particularly exciting.
Yeah. So just something long pauses whilst we fight with the internet to try and come up with some news for you. And then as always happens, it pauses and then you get about a million tabs come up at once. But you're saying we got, because we're expecting or anticipating that with this being a No Who year, pretty much, that news is going to be a little bit on the short side, but we do have some.
We do have some. So
you're going to kick off with.
So sorry about this, guys. I'd set this up before, but we were kind of rushing.
We were rushing around, weren't we? Because we only finished watching Ambassadors of Death because it's such a huge, mighty episode, so many parts in it. We had to cram them all in. Yeah.
So, exciting news. Titan Comics have announced that Doctor Who TV spin-off Torchwood is back in an all-new ongoing comic starring daring Captain Jack and Gwen Cooper. The series is written by Captain Jack himself, John Barrowman, and Carolee Barrowman, with issues illustrated by Antonio Fuso, Drive, The Girl Who Kicked, and The Hornet's Nest. Oh no, I think they're the. I think
it's the guy who kicked the Hornet's Nest.
The girl.
The girl who kicked the. And on the 5th occasion, you'll get the name right. Yeah.
And Pascali Colani. Batman 66, She-Hulk, and Harley Quinn. In continuity with the new hit audio dramas from Big Finish, as part of the official continuation. Sorry, I was thinking that was going to be a really complicated word, but I don't know why. I just of the Torchwood saga. The comic arrives in stores on July the 6th, the week of Titan's 3rd annual Doctor Who Comics Day event, Saturday, July 9th, 2016. The BAFTA-winning cult science fiction drama by Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies, which aired for 4 successful series from 2006 to 2011, follows the exploits of Captain Jack, Gwen, and their team as they investigate the unusual, the strange, and the extraterrestrial. The hotly anticipated Torchwood comic sees Captain Jack return to Cardiff to engage the help of the last person who expected to see him again, Gwen Cooper. A dark technology from a forgotten species has been claimed by a conspiratorial power, and in this collision between an ancient civilization and a new evil. The Earth itself may be 4 feet. Only Jack, Gwen, and their allies from what remains of Torchwood hold the key to stopping a cataclysmic wave of destruction. On the road, on the run, and under fire, can Jack and Gwen put aside their differences and rebuild the heart of Torchwood before its flame is stamped out forever?
Interesting. What do you reckon to that then? Because I guess it's different because we've not watched Torchwood, have we? I've certainly not watched any.
We haven't.
Have you watched any or not? I know it's
No.
for slightly older age group.
I haven't watched any before, and fans might hit us for that.
I don't even know. I mean, it said the timings on here, and I'm never very good on timings. So if it ran on TV from 2006 to 2011, was that after Russell T Davies's run as showrunner, or did it coincide?
What do you mean?
Was Russell T Davies still doing Who at the time when Torchwood started as its own series?
Yeah, so
or had he passed the mantle to
Russell T Davies ran Doctor Who from 2005 to 2010.
Okay, all right. So you had both running at the same time.
Torchwood runs from 2006 to 2011, which means that Sarah Jane and Torchwood ended at the same point, and he left Doctor a year before both of them ended.
Oh, right, okay. Busy man.
I know.
Okay. Cool, that's
Same
interesting
with
then.
Stephen Moffat, really. He's quite a busy man.
Yeah.
Not too busy, though. He's only got a couple of things.
So, what other news do we have? Or did you have something else to comment on the Torchwood comic?
I don't know. What do you have overall thoughts on the storyline?
It sounds quite interesting. I struggle a bit. Do you know, I can't say that I look particularly fondly on Captain Jack as a character. It's not a character that really jumped out at me. I found him a little bit irritating, if I'm being truthful. But that's not to say that I don't think Torchwood would be good, because it may be. Yeah,
and it is quite popular. That's why it ran for the length of time that it did run.
Yeah, that's right.
4
seasons isn't bad at all, is it? What do you think of Captain Jack?
I think he's all right. Not a overly good character.
Yeah.
But he's all right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really put him, like, if we ordered every single character that was in Doctor Who, he would come somewhere in the middle.
Captain Jack or River Song? I mean, they both serve a similar sort of purpose, really, don't they?
They're both... Damn.
See, I think I prefer River Song than Captain Jack.
I prefer River Song's storyline. You know, like, I think she's clever as a character.
Yeah.
I prefer River Song's character.
Yeah. Having said that, I probably prefer the face of Bo than both of them. So if that is Captain Jack, then Jack wins, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What else do we have on the news front, sir?
Okay. Bit of sad news now. Gareth Thomas has died at the age of 71. In Who-related matters, he played Ed Morgan in the 2006 Torchwood story Ghost Machine. He also appeared in a 2001 Big Finish production, Storm Warning, and I think he might have appeared in more, I don't know.
Right, okay.
However, Thomas was best known for playing the eponymous hero of the 1970s science fiction series Blake 7. Thomas played Rog Blake, leader of a disparate band of rebels pitted against the corrupt Federation in the series conceived by Doctor Who writer and Dalek creator Terry Nation. The series ran on BBC One from 1978 to 1981, with Thomas taking the lead role for the first 2 series. When Thomas decided not to renew his contract for Series 3, the character of Blake was killed off. The ghost of Blake was present throughout the remaining series, and Thomas returned twice, once at the end of Series 3 and once for the climactic final episode, Blake.
Can you just stop there a second?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting because I cannot remember because I'm rewatching Blake 7 at the moment. I've not watched it for the last couple of weeks, but I have been rewatching them. And I grew up. Blake 7 was probably my favourite program when I was that sort of age. I don't remember Blake appearing again at the end of series 3. I'm intrigued by that. I can remember the big finale, the big chromatic final.
Does he actually die then?
I can't really remember that bit of it either. I can't. I'm looking forward to getting to those bits. I can remember that there's a big crash, and so, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I wouldn't have been that. How old would I have been then? Ooh. So what are we talking about here? So
70s, end of 70s, is it?
So yeah,
beginning of 90s.
So if we
80s?
Say that this would have been probably 78, 79, so probably series 3 probably came out in 1980. So I would have only been sort of like 9.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember it too well now.
You didn't watch series 1 originally, did you?
I thought I'd watched it right from the start, but I don't remember the first few episodes. In fact, haven't really remembered anything that I've seen so far.
How much have you watched?
But I do remember Blake being in it, so I'm thinking I've probably watched about half of the first series so far.
Okay.
So I'm thinking probably I started watching it in series 2, perhaps.
Okay.
But I'm not totally sure. But it may just be that, of course, when it first came out, if you look at it that way, first came out in 1978. So I would have been 7.
Okay.
So it might just be that I don't remember it. I did watch it and I just don't remember it. In the same way as I don't remember a lot of the Doctor Who stories from that period.
Yes. So Gareth was born in Wales in 1945. He trained at RADA and made his TV debut in 1965 production of Romeo and Juliet. A steady succession of TV roles followed, including parts in Coronation Street, Sea Cars, Harriet's Back in Town, Sutherland's Law, Edward Seventh, I thought so. Jack Norrie and How Green Was My Valley, where he played Rev. Ruffy.
Hey, Rev.
In 1972, he was nominated for a BAFTA for his performance in the BBC play For Today, Stocker's Copper. He played Adam Brake in the 1977 children's series Children of the Stones, and Shem in the ITV series Star Maidens. Following his role as Blake, Thomas played Philip Denny in the 1983 version of A.J. Cronin's The Citadel, and took the lead role in the BBC One drama Morgan's Boy, about a Welsh hill farmer who finds himself looking after a teenage boy, a performance which won him his second BAFTA nomination. He appeared in By the Sword Divided and Knights of God, and had a regular role in the ITV series London's Burning. In 1998, he took on the role of Nathaniel Cleghorn in Heartbeat. In 2012, Thomas returned to the role for which he was best known, playing Rog Blake in the Big Finish production Blake 7 The Liberator Chronicles. Gareth Thomas died Wednesday, 13th of April. He is survived by his wife, Linda.
Okay. I can remember when Gareth left Blake 7, if I remember rightly, he wanted to get more involved. He didn't want to be sort of typecast as Blake. He wanted to get more involved in his first love, which was sort of more the theatrical sort of stuff. And I think he was quite heavy on the Royal Shakespeare Company, if I remember rightly. Mm. But very sad. Sad. And Blake 7, for anyone that is listening and hasn't watched it before, definitely worth digging out. I've certainly planned to give it to Lou to look at some point. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Good. So moving on from Mr. Thomas.
So the restoration team, the Doctor Who restoration team have updated their website to include details of the restoration work, which took place on the final set of Doctor Who Classic Era DVD releases. The restoration team was formed in 1992, consisting of a small group of Doctor Who fans within the television industry who were dedicated to restoring archive episodes of Doctor Who to the best possible quality, ready for rebroadcast or release on video or later on DVD. The painstaking work has been documented on the team's website by Steve Roberts, former BBC's post-production engineer and key member of the restoration team. The site, which was last updated in 2013, has now been expanded to include details of the work undertaken for The Underwater Menace, The Web of Fear, The Moon Base, Enemy of the World, 10th Planet, Terror of the Zygons, The Ice Warriors, as well as the special edition of The Green Death.
It's interesting, actually, isn't it? Because I mean, when you sit and watch some of these episodes, so for instance, when we sat down and watched The Enemy of the World, you take it for granted, really, don't you?
Yeah.
And actually, there must have been so much hard work involved in actually bringing that back, restoring that to the quality that we see now. So, fantastic job by the restoration team. Let's only hope that further things appear over the next few years that it can be restored.
And you can see the restoration team website in the show notes. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Is that any more? Do we have more news? Do we have more? Is there more? So
have to go Big Finish.
So that's the thing, isn't it? You used to use as your main source of information for this podcast. You used to use Doctor Who TV.
Yeah. I now use different websites because it doesn't update as much anymore.
Yeah. So it needs a little bit more flicking around. Hence the bits where I'm talking like I am, where I'm talking slowly, filling the airtime whilst you find out the page you need. Talking.
Okay. So the 10th Doctor Adventures has been the date for it has been confirmed, and it is going to be released on Monday, May the 16th, 2016, and presents 3 brand new stories based on the new series of Doctor Who, starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate as the much-loved pairing of the 10th Doctor and Donna Noble. Now, this has been a long-running anticipation for Big Finish, and I've read some of their Dorm interview, actually.
Yeah.
And it says that it will probably increase the number of listeners for Big Finish because of New Who. It will give New Who fans the chance to check out Big Finish.
I think that's right, because I mean, I know they've done the Wall Doctor series and things, but I mean, this is their first real delve into New Who, isn't it?
Yeah, they have done things like the River Song one.
Yes.
And and the classic Doctor's New Monsters and the Winston Churchill things.
But in terms of the actual proper Doctors.
Yeah.
Not that John Hurt isn't a proper Doctor, because he is.
But we don't know. He's not like a proper. We don't know. He's somewhere in between, like Paul McGann. We don't know whether he's New Who or Classic Who.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
So by the way, if you want to listen to a trailer a few weeks ago, they did release a trailer, and that would be on the show notes.
Fantastic.
But beneath the streets of London, to the spaceport planet Calabris, to the beautiful land of Goritana.
Where is that? I can't see on the page.
The second line.
Goritania, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Goritania.
Thanks.
Maybe wrong.
The Doctor and Donna tumble through the time vortex in New Adventures, recreating a beloved era of Doctor Who.
Not beloved by me, I'm afraid.
The series opens with the 10th Doctor Adventures Technophobia by Matt Fitton, which is set in a London slightly in the future, where mankind is gradually losing its ability to use everyday technology. Could there be an evil force at work? Time Reaver by Jenny T. Colgan. The Doctor and Donna arrive on Calabris, an entirely mechanical planet. Catch, hitch, fuel, fix, buy, pretty much any kind of transportation in existence. It's also a world full of scoundrels, where a deadly black market is opened up in a device known only as the Time Reaver. No, I have to say these words again. Death and the Queen by James Goss sees Donna is swept along in a fairy tale romance and meets the man of her dreams in the beautiful land of Goritania. What can possibly go wrong? And why has the Doctor never heard of Goritania?
Maybe because you can't read the name. Probably.
What I like, which is very interesting, there's one story set in the future, one story set in the present, and one story set in the past.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
That's a good...
I think it's... As we know, probably... Well, no, I'll ask you this. I'll ask you this slightly differently.
Okay.
Do you think, out of all of the new Doctors, that the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, is still probably most people's favourite?
Well, Tom Baker is most people.
Sorry. As of in terms of the new Doctors, in terms of New Who, yeah.
Maybe. I think so. Overall.
And certainly, I think I'm probably right in saying that the series with the Doctor and Donna may be people's favourite series. Or certainly favourite pairing. People were very keen on that.
Favourite pairing, but not favourite series.
Yeah. So, but it's quite an obvious one, I think, for them to have delved into first. I mean, the other one, I think, which would have been quite a good one to have looked at as a starting point, would have been Christopher Eccleston with... I
don't think they...
But I don't think you'd do it.
They don't get Christopher Eccleston.
No.
Well, would they get Billy Piper?
I think they
probably
get Billy
would.
Piper, probably, yeah. But obviously Christopher Eccleston won't do it. But I think that's the other one, which would be a really obvious one.
Yes.
I guess at some point or other, maybe we'll get to see Matt Smith and Karen Gillan rejoined again.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Or wouldn't it? I tell you what, I've had an idea. Big Finish. Give me £100 and I'll tell you my idea. Okay, no, I'll tell you anyway. How about Amy and Rory's life in the past?
Yeah.
There we
they
go.
haven't done a Paternoster Gang audio
that's true.
series.
That could come, couldn't it? Yeah.
They could do that.
Yeah.
Do have more ideas, but they'd have to pay me for them.
See, I've blown on mine. You wait and give it a couple of weeks, and that will appear there. That will. Amy and Rory's Adventures in the Past. What actually happened?
I think it will have to have a catchy name than that.
Yeah, it probably would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Past shocks. I like that. That sounds quite good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so good to see them delve into the New Who stuff.
Yes, and it was announced quite a few months ago, so it will be interesting to see what people actually think of it.
Yeah, no, I will, yeah.
The Big Finish people have said it's good.
Yeah.
What do the audience think? We'll find out.
I do wish we had enough money to be able to delve into some of these Big Finish ones as well, don't you?
Would you get one of the War Doctor ones? Would you get the War Doctor one?
Yeah, I think possibly so, or one of the Paul McGann ones. I think I'd want to
Dark Eyes,
perhaps some of the
Doom
ones.
Coalition.
Yeah, something to understand what their Doctors are like a bit more, because we obviously, I mean, I'm sure the Tom Baker ones, etc., are really, really good, but we've already got a fairly good idea of what their Doctors are like. Maybe the other one would be the Colin Baker ones, just because people seem to say
Colin Baker's much better.
That they're really, really good and much better than the old TV series. Not that we think the TV series is bad, because we quite like them, don't we? But
yeah. Well, probably the Sylvester McCoy ones are a lot better.
Yeah. So, but it'd be nice to hear some of those, I think.
Yes. So.
Anyway, have we got any other news?
No, we don't.
I've got one more bit of news.
What?
The bit of news you told me earlier on about something which is going to be available shortly in terms of toys collections.
Yeah, but it's not big, but you can say.
I'll let you say it because
No, you can say.
Okay.
I've read all of the news.
Okay. Well, I mean, you were saying to me earlier on.
I know what it is.
That they'd announced. I don't know where did you see this, by the way?
Doctor Who site.
Okay, so they'd announced that there was going to be 2 new pop heads coming out.
There are going to be more. There's going to be costumes for. There's going to be a 12th Doctor with guitar, and there's going to be. We don't know what it is yet, but there's going to be 2 other, 2 other costumes for like the 11th Doctor and 10th Doctor.
Okay.
So
then the main ones.
I'm guessing we'll get like, for example, 11th Doctor with Jammy Dodger or something.
Yeah. Or maybe with the Tommy
suit.
Cooper hat. Or has he already got one of those?
No, I don't think he.
Yeah.
Or the later suit.
Yeah, could be, couldn't it?
Tommy Cooper. Do you mean a Fez?
Yeah, I couldn't think what they were called.
Yeah, he's got one of them.
Yeah, the other one that the 2 main ones that you got quite excited about when they mentioned them earlier on was the War Doctor and Davros. So we'll look forward for those. We like our pop heads, don't we?
Please say they release them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have to collect. I've got Sarah Jane and 9th Doctor from Volume 2.
Yeah.
I do pick up one occasionally.
Yeah.
We better get on.
So, does that take us on to Ambassadors of Death?
No.
No. Oh no, we've got the main item, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, you launch into the main item.
So, this week we are.
We are behind, aren't we? Crumbs.
Because we started 10 minutes later.
Yeah, that's true.
This week we are continuing our Monster Analogy series after a short break, and this week we are looking at the Sontarans, and we're looking at why the Sontarans are great and why the Sontarans are maybe not so great.
Okay, so Sontarans. When did we first see the Sontarans? When did they first appear in the Whoniverse?
They appeared first of all in the 3rd Doctor and Sarah Jane story, The Time Warrior.
Okay. So, and then perhaps if you give a quick run through the main episodes as them as villains to start with. So, when have you seen them as
Time Warrior, Sontaran Experiment, Invasion of Time.
Yeah.
2 Doctors, Sontaran Stratagem, Poison Sky. Okay.
Now, since then, obviously, we've seen them on a number of other occasions as well, particularly with the introduction of Strax, part of the Paternoster gang, or Paternoster gang, sorry, and
Pater.
Yeah, Pater.
You said Paternoster.
Paternoster. The Paternoster gang.
The Paternoster.
Don't mock me. Not live on air. I'm humiliated.
Sorry.
We've seen him sort of a fair bit really on that as a good guy, and I think possibly that's may form a big bit of our discussion today.
We will talk about that.
Yeah.
We will start though right at the beginning though.
Okay. I actually, from my years growing up, I remember the Sontarans really, really strongly.
You've watched every Sontaran story, I think.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, so
I remember them really well as potato heads and with their tongues. Doing that weird tongue thing. Yeah. You obviously can't see us doing that, but we are actually doing that weird tongue thing now. And they were quite threatening in a way. They were quite threatening, weren't they, in many respects? So that's just the studio falling down.
They were quite threatening, and I think they're a really good idea.
Yeah.
They're a clone race.
Yeah.
They love battle,
yes.
And their everlasting battle with the Rutans has been a long-lasting reference.
Yeah.
We'd never actually seen the Rutans and Sontarans together, apart from in the 2011 adventure game at the Gunpowder Plot.
That's right.
Might have been 2012, I can't remember.
They were thereabouts, wasn't it? Surprising really, isn't it, that we've not really seen Sontarans and Rutans together. In fact, we've actually only seen, correct me if I'm wrong, the Rutans have only been in it once, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
So
do you think they should bring it back?
Yeah, I think they should. I mean, obviously, this isn't a debate about the Rutans, but bring back the Rutans.
Bring back the Rutans.
I think they make the Sontarans. Going back to the Sontarans, make a great entrance. I think that first episode with them in, which I've forgotten already. Is it the Time Warrior? Yeah. It's a really great story, isn't it? And that's the first one with Sarah Jane in, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
It is, yeah. So that's right, because she accidentally finds herself whisked away to their world, doesn't she?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, not to their world, sorry, back to the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get that great sequence the first time when they remove the helmet.
Yeah.
And you get the weird potato head.
And that goes.
Does that with tongue thing, yeah. So, yeah, I think, what's your favourite Sontaran story?
As you may know, I have a big fond spot for Invasion of Time.
You do, yes.
I do.
I think my favourite Sontaran episode. I really like the two Doctors.
Okay, I thought you were going to say that for a second.
But I've got a feeling my favourite one might actually be that first one, Time Warrior. I like the Invasion of Time. It drags a bit for me.
I might agree with you. I don't know. I'm caught between those two stories.
I'm not a big lover of the one where they brought them back in New Who. No,
not strategy. Necessarily.
It's a little bit cheesy, maybe.
Maybe.
Bit sort of, perhaps cheesy or throwaway. It's certainly quite throwaway.
Throwaway.
Yeah.
Not cheese. Maybe a tiny bit cheesy, but that's only because it has Donna.
Yes, indeed, it does, doesn't it? When was the last New Who episode with them in?
Including Strax.
Sorry, I didn't mean you. I meant Classic Who. What's the final Classic Who episode?
Two Doctors.
Oh, is it? Okay. So only a few Doctors actually met them then. So the third Doctor, the
Third
fourth
Doctor, Fourth Doctor, Sixth Doctor, 10th Doctor, 11th Doctor, 12th Doctor, if you can include Strax.
Okay. So yeah, that's interesting itself, isn't it?
And
they bleed green.
They do.
Yes.
What's your favourite Sontaran design?
The very first one, I think. What about you?
Yes, I would have to say that.
What do you think of the New Who Sontaran costume? It's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It needed to be silver, though.
Yeah, do you know, I think I have the same issue with the new Sontaran design as what I have with the Cybermen, is that they've become a little bit regimented, I guess, in their looks. I mean, but having said that, they are meant to be an army, so, maybe that's...
I think the Sontarans are actually fine with New Who designs from Classic Who.
Yeah.
One of the few designs that have changed in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. It's not a bad job, is it? Okay, well, let's have a quick chat around the main topic, I think, probably for Sontarans, which is, can we still take them seriously? now that we've had Strax. However much we love Strax, he's a very funny character, but does it mean that it's completely diminished the threat of Sontarans?
Now, I love Strax. I think he's a really funny and entertaining character. It's just he has ruined and diminished the Sontarans.
He has, hasn't he? I can't see that you could now have an episode with the Sontarans in and take them seriously.
I mean, what I don't get is they're all meant to be the same. They're all cloned.
Yeah. How
come Strax is good if they're all cloned?
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. I mean, there might be a logical reason, but I'm not sure what it is. What I would like to see is I would like to not see the Paternoster gang in Who again.
I think they're going to do one more story for Stephen Moffat's last series.
Maybe. I would love to see them again as a spin-off.
Yeah,
we've talked about.
Or audio, TV spin-off.
Yeah, but I don't want to see them anymore in the main series. It's not because I don't like them, because I do, but I do think they have diminish the threat of the Sontarans. And I would love to see, like we just talked about earlier, an episode based around the Sontaran Luton War. I think that'd be fantastic. Why haven't they done that? That'd be such a good episode.
I think Stephen Moffat will do an episode to say farewell to them.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe in the final episode they'll do a scene like David Tennant's final episode, where they go and see all of the past characters.
Oh God, I hope they don't.
What?
I hate that bit.
Do you?
Well, it's a nice. It's just so long, isn't it? It's really drawn out, and it's just it makes it really cheesy. It's everything like that I don't like about the 10th Doctor period. That bit.
Yeah.
What about there's something else I was going to say. I tell you what I do think. I really like Dan Starkey. I think he does play a really good Sontaran, doesn't he?
And the character's really good.
Yeah.
It's just, I think he should be something else than a Sontaran, maybe.
What I don't get, and I know this isn't going to be a debate about Strax, is it? It's going to be a wider one about Sontarans. Why does he come back to life again?
Oh,
was there a reason for that? Was there?
Madame Faster and Jenny had some technology and brought him back or something.
Do you know what that technology was?
What?
The pen of Stephen Moffat. It can bring back anyone from the dead. There we have it. When you get these sad sort of death news, like the one about Blake earlier on, all we need to do is actually bring out the magic pen of Stephen Moffat, and we can bring him back to life.
Dun 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 dun.
There.
Will Chris Chibnall's show run a time be like that?
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah. I think what's going to happen is Moffat's going to shock us all by killing off everyone,
and then bringing them back in the end of the final
yeah, probably. So, anything else to comment on the Sontarans?
I don't think so. They are one of the most well-known villains in Doctor Who, and they probably are one of the best in classic Who.
Yes. Yeah.
New Who, they've kind of weakened.
They have.
But in classic Who, though, they were really strong villains.
I tell you what, though, since I have moaned so much about the whole thing of the threat being destroyed by Strax.
Yeah.
That said, there are so many really, really funny moments, lines that Strax comes out with, based around that warlike race. The whole thing of, I'll go outside and play with my grenades. Things like that were fantastic, aren't they? Really humorous lines.
And that's what makes him a good character, and that's why he's a Sontaran, I suppose. Yeah,
he's a good character, but an unlikely character, isn't he, really? Because based on what you said earlier on, why would a Sontaran be like that?
Yes. Yeah. So is that the end of our?
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay. Should we move on to our review?
Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about Ambassadors of Death.
Yeah, the story last week we reviewed the first 4 parts, and today we are going to review all 7 parts, as well as scores and placings and stuff.
Yeah. So if I give a very, very brief outline of the plot, I won't go into too much detail because I don't really want to double up on what we said last week. Yeah. So, what is it all about? Well, basically, the unit are providing security for the space program being run by a Professor Ralph Cornish, and it's looking at making contact. It's all based around a Mars project, but in particular, making contact with a missing Mars probe. The astronauts have disappeared. No one knows what's happened to them, and they're trying to locate them. The Doctor's obviously on the scene as unit's chief. Is he chief scientist? He's certainly a very senior scientist. And when he travels to the space center to investigate, they basically get this really loud, piercing noise, and the Doctor identifies this as being sent down to Earth and coming from sort of a distance some miles away. Unit explore the noise, and they come into a big gun battle with some troops that have been organised by General Charles Carrington. The whole thing with Carrington sort of builds and builds, doesn't it, as the episode goes on.
And in the penultimate part, we find out what his role is really.
Yeah, but I mean the basics of it, and a quick spoiler alert here, in case you don't want to know anything, but the basics of it is that they've sort of kidnapped, haven't they? These ambassadors that this alien race is sent down, and the threats coming through from the alien race to actually return the ambassadors, or else they will basically attack us. Yeah. So the aliens themselves in this one, quite threatening, but actually entirely innocent.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say any more on the actual synopsis than that. What did you make of it?
I thought this was a lot better than I remembered it. Yep. It's a very slow story.
Yep.
But once it gets going, it's a masterpiece once it gets going. Not as good as you say it is, but level below.
Yeah.
You say it is.
Now after we watched it,
we'll talk about what you've put in the chart after our general thoughts.
Okay. I really, really liked this episode.
Yes.
Now you think I'm bigging it up too much.
You are, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, but I really liked it. I think John Pertwee's Doctor's really good in it. Really good use of unit. But what I really liked was the fact that it was quite different from any other episodes.
It was very unique.
Yeah, I liked the fact that this big threat of these mysterious aliens, as it goes on, you realise more and more that actually they're the innocent party in all of this. And actually, the threat in this instance are actually the humans themselves, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very much, actually. On the basis of the fact that this one follows on from the Solarians, am I
right? Yes.
So it follows on from the Solarians. How did I know that? I have no idea.
Because they mention it in the first episode.
Maybe that's right. But it follows on from the Solarians, where obviously the ending of the Solarians has got Brigadier Lethbridge Strutt destroying the Solarians, isn't it? So again, the Solarians are an innocent party, and the humans are the evil one. And so it seems to be sort of like a fairly common thread, really, between both those.
It does, and I like that theme.
Yeah. And it's probably quite true. Quite often we are the bad guys. And we would do, because we would try and destroy everything that we didn't understand if it scared us. So that's my general thoughts on it.
Yes, I really enjoyed this story. And as I said, it's not as good as you say it is, but it is still really good. And I think you should, if you have the chance, give it a go. It's always in Forbidden Planet if you go in there.
Yeah. And it is a slow one, I think.
Yeah.
But that is one of its strengths.
Yes, it is.
We get to see the Doctor
big build up, and it needs it, by the way.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, good characters.
It has, yes.
Yeah, and the other thing, and we talked about this a little bit last week when we were talking about companions, but I'd never been overly keen on Liz.
You'd only seen Inferno before this.
Yeah, but and probably my views on Liz go back prior to even seeing Inferno. So I'd only seen her in clips, and I thought she just doesn't do it for me as a companion. But actually, having seen those two episodes with her in Inferno and Ambassador of Death, she's really, really good. She's a really strong character, really intelligent, quite different.
And that's why they got rid of her.
It probably was, wasn't it? Did they actually get rid of her, or did she just decide she was going to do something else?
I think they did get rid of her. I can't remember.
Yeah. So I really like her, and works well with Pertwee's Doctor, I think.
Yeah.
So let's get on to this discussion then about the placement, because
So let me.
So this isn't a placement of every episode of whoever. This is a placement based on everything that we've
59 episodes.
So we've had 59 episodes come up through stories come up through the randomizer, haven't we?
Yes.
But it was 59 through the randomizer and or series 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got mine 17th. Quite high
Yeah.
in my chart, above Husbands of Your Song and below Under the Lake Before the Flood.
Yeah. Okay.
In yours, it is 6.
6. Yeah.
6. And in your opinion, it is better than Enemy of the World and Caves of Androzani.
Okay. I will defend myself now.
Okay.
So basically, if I was to look at what
How
is it
come
above?
it's better than Caves of Androzani?
Well,
And
okay.
Enemy of the World.
Okay. I put it 6th mainly because I think it is better than The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar, which I've got a 7th. I've got a feeling actually I probably need to drop that down a couple of pegs, because I think probably Waters of Mars may be slightly better than it, and Enemy of the World may be better than it, but I do prefer it in Caves of Androzani. Okay, so I think I've got to adjust my chart a little bit.
Why do you prefer it?
I think it's the pace.
Okay.
And it's just a general feeling. I really like the feel of it. I think it's just going to be one of those ones which is unusually placed high by me because it just presses.
Colony in Space.
Because it just presses all my buttons. I think.
Like the randomizer.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds quite wrong actually. Presses all of my buttons.
But I just really like the story. So I think probably what's wrong in my chart is that I've got The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar. However much I like them, probably too high in my chart. So I will adjust that later. Yeah. But definitely, folks, go on out there. Go and watch Ambassadors of Death. Really cracking. And hopefully it'll press your button too.
Scores then.
Okay.
So out of 10, monsters.
I'm going to give them a 9.
Okay.
Right, because you only briefly get to see what they look like without their space helmets on, and they look a bit zombie-like, actually, don't they?
Yeah.
But the whole sort of thing of them is the whole threat, that whole thing of not knowing what's there, what they are, and the fact that they can't really talk until the end or anything like that. I just think they're really good, really different.
Character development.
I think, although we've said on many occasions that they don't really do character development significantly in Classic Who, I think actually not so much between the Doctor and Liz, but more so the character development around some of the others as you work out which side they're on and things like that.
Yeah.
Although to be honest, it was fairly obvious that Carrington was a baddie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay. It takes me a while to work out. Okay. Excitement.
I think it was really exciting. Although it was slow, it was still really exciting. I'm going to give it an 8 for that as well.
Okay, and
pace.
Pace.
I can remember the questions.
Sorry.
Pace is perfect. The cool pace. It's a 9 for me.
Okay.
It's slow, but it's brilliantly
overall.
Paced. Overall, I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay. For you, it's 43.
Okay.
Out of 50.
So you really enjoyed it, but probably you don't think it's as much of a classic as I think.
No.
Where does it sit in the dorm sort of rating? Can you remember
96.
roughly? 96. Okay. So I probably am over-egging it more than your average Who fan.
You say Daleks overrated.
Yeah. Yes. I think it's just a personal matter of taste. I think probably the problem is like when we do our chart, and you've done it before as well, haven't you? Because you've moved a few things around when you look back on it afterwards. Sometimes you watch something and you vote it based on your gut feel. And it might be in a couple of weeks' time when I reevaluate that I think I've placed that too high. But and in much the same way as at the moment, my gut feel has Dalek really low, and it's probably not as low as we should. No. Okay, it's so like I'm waffling, aren't I? You're hovering over the randomizer button because you're thinking that the podcast needs to come to an end soon, and I'm still waffling about Ambassadors of Death.
Yes.
I loved it so much. Shall we press the magic randomizer button?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so magic randomizer, very brief spreadsheet. Every Who episode in it, we press a button, Macro pulls out an episode, we watch it next week, and then we review it and talk about it to you fine folks. Let's press the magic randomizer. So.
Oh, two-parter.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
So we were talking earlier on about whether or not we were going to get a new Who or a classic Who episode. We both said we thought we were going to get.
Is, by the way?
Yeah. We both thought we were going to get a new Who one, and we do.
So this.
What have we got?
Have you seen this one, by the way? Just before we.
I've seen the beginning bit.
Okay, so this is the Stolen Earth Journey's End, the finale of series 4.
Okay.
So it's a Donna one, but it has got loads of old. It's got like Sarah Jane and Martha and Rose and stuff.
We watched some clips of this one recently, didn't we? And
we did.
I really like, obviously, Davos.
Yes.
I really like the portrayal of Davos in it. I really like. I think I watched the first episode of it actually, but I've not seen Journey's End.
You've seen a clip.
I've seen the clip. I hate that clip. I hate that clip.
And Journey's End is a very not popular episode.
Is that? Yeah, it's just
very
real Russell T Davies cheese to me. The clip, but we'll talk about that no doubt next week because I'm sure I probably hate that bit equally as much when we watch it again. But hopefully I'll enjoy the episode.
That's very interesting. We're going to watch that.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see what you think of the episode.
Yes.
So
it's been a while since we've had a Doctor and Donna episode, isn't it?
We've only had one.
I think we have, which is the Ood one, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that was, we've already done our behind the sofa review on that, and that shows that it was about 1 or 2 years ago since we did it.
Okay, so we'll be chatting about that one next week. In the meantime, let's move on to our final piece of the show today, which is quiz or question. So, quiz or question, everybody's favourite show where we part of the show where we ask our. Well, we've changed it slightly, so now we have a little robot that actually tells questions for us.
Yes, and it's going to be one of our last for a while. Next time we do quiz or question will be our last before we take a break because we've ran out of questions and quizzes.
So perhaps you can, as a little starting point, just explain a little bit about what quiz or question is for those that
So we are asked by the public questions, which are have an opinion, which could go into a big discussion, and quizzes have a right or wrong answer.
Okay, so what's the first question? Who's going to tell us? Is it going to be this robot again?
What ideas for Doctor Who spin-offs do you have?
Okay.
Okay, so quiz or question?
It's a question because there's no right or wrong answer, other than the fact that my answer is always right.
Now, we'll give one now, but we are going to do a feature in the future, I have decided, about which we talk about this in full detail about spin-offs in general.
Yeah.
This will be in quite a few weeks now because I've got ideas for the next few weeks.
Okay.
But
I think we might have had little discussions about this before. But
we have.
I know if I was to pick out my favourite idea, it would be the 8th Doctor.
Okay.
They've
kind of done them in audios.
A retro 8th Doctor. Yeah, but I'd still like to see a visual one about him.
Yeah.
That would be my one. The other one would probably be the Pasta Nostra gang.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
Like we said earlier, my idea is you took my idea.
Well, that's because we think the same.
The Paternoster gang.
Pasta Nostra.
Paternoster. Not Pasta Nostra. Paternoster.
Yeah. So, yeah.
How about the 10th Doctor and Donna Adventures?
No.
Oh, they've already done that.
Oh, I'll tell you what would be really irritating. A really irritating spin-off would be Donna and Rose's mum traveling the universe with their third companion, Mel.
This is the theme tune.
It would be horrible. It'd be horrible. Mal. Ah. So that's our initial thoughts. But as Lou said, we'll be catching up on that a little bit later in a future edition.
Yeah.
How many seasons did Elizabeth Sladen appear in as Sarah?
She kind of like didn't let you complete your sentence then.
Yeah, interrupted me again, robot. So presumably we're talking here about In Who, and it's a quiz because there is a right or wrong answer. Let me see. What do we think? I'm gonna guess here that she did, and you can correct me because you probably know.
Okay.
I reckon she did 4 seasons.
I think she did 3.5.
Did she?
3 and 2 episodes.
I was going to say perhaps 2 with John Pertwee.
No, 1 with John Pertwee.
Oh, was that all? Okay, 1 with Pertwee.
2 full series with Baker.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the part 1 before
Leela.
The lovely Leela comes in. Okay. So, fire away, another question.
Which one of the new Who Big Finish box sets are you most interested by?
Box set.
Box set.
Quiz or question?
It is a question because there is no right or wrong answer. Interesting one. I know when we listened to the 5 Who fans the other day, they did a review of the War Doctor ones, and they weren't as complimentary as I thought they were going to be.
I would say probably. I would quite like to see something like Doom Coalition.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that idea about the 11, that guy who has all of the incarnations of the Time Lords of himself in one.
Yeah, that is good. But I'm going to go for the War Doctor ones anyway.
I'm going to go with Doom Coalition.
Okay.
Maybe number 1, just number 1. I think his review for number 2 wasn't as good, was it?
I think you're probably right there.
Because we watched the Doom Coalition one quite recently.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm full stop, as we said a bit earlier on in this show. I really like the idea, full stop anyway, of hearing a few more Big Finish audios. So, fire away the next ones.
How many stars can you think that have been in Doctor Who and EastEnders?
Okay.
Okay.
Quiz
or question?
It's a quiz because there is a right or wrong answer here. I guess we're talking about main characters, aren't we? Really.
I mean, we've had Louise Jameson in it before.
Yeah, that's probably she's probably the only one, isn't she? I mean, no, probably not. Actually, I was going to say she's the only one that's actually had a recurring role in it, but obviously Mal's now in it.
Oh yeah,
isn't she?
Bonnie Langford is in it.
So they're probably the obvious ones. You've had other people that have appeared in it, like
a Slitheen woman has been in it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. She has. I promise I can't remember the name. The Slater girl. I've forgotten her name now. Zoe.
Oh yeah.
She's been Doctor Who, isn't she?
She was Christine D'Souza.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot. Yes. I don't know how many. A lot.
Quite a lot. Answer. There have been other soap stars. Like Fraser Hines was in Emmerdale, wasn't he?
Yes, that's right. He was, yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay. I think full stop, you do get a lot because the BBC in particular tends to use a lot of the same actors.
Yes.
Okay, next one.
What planet from Doctor Who would you most like to explore?
What planet from Doctor Who would you most like to explore? It's a question because there's no right or wrong. You know, I actually really like deserts and things, and I really love the look of Gallifrey as it looks now.
I want to go to Gallifrey as well. Not at the point of the Time War.
No.
At some point, at a peaceful point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be there at a Time War period. The other one, I tell you what, where was it? What am I thinking of? There's one in particular, Akatan.
Ooh.
That might be quite interesting.
It would be. The Festival of Offerings and stuff.
Yeah, not a good episode really, but nice place to visit. I might choose that. Okay. No, I'm going to stick with Gallifrey, but that is my second if that holiday's booked.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
How many seasons did John Pertwee appear in Doctor Who for?
Hoover.
Hoover.
Hoover. How many seasons with John Pertwee? It's a quiz because there would be a right or wrong answer.
Yes.
My guess is 4.
5, actually.
Indeed.
The Liz series, 3 Joe series, and 1 Sarah Jane series.
Okay. Excellent. Are they all of the same high standard as that first season with him? Or is that his best season, do you think?
It might be his best.
Yeah.
It's just... I mean, you've got Spearhead from Space, you've got Inferno, and the two in the middle are quite good as well.
Yeah. Okay. So,
What is the most unique episode of Doctor Who?
She keeps interrupting
He does,
you.
yeah. No manners these days, these robots. Most
It's
unique...
probably because you keep calling her robot. She's called Jessie.
Oh, sorry, Jess. Most unique episode of Doctor Who is a question.
Yes, Ooh.
There's a few you could say here.
You
Because
could say the episode today, Ambassadors of Death.
Ambassador Death is pretty unique. But there is still a Doctor in it as a main character. So you could argue Blink.
Blink is quite a... Yeah.
Another one that I think is very unique is Family of Blood.
Yes, I would think so.
Just because
I was gonna
the
say
fact
that one.
that obviously the Doctor doesn't think he's the Doctor. So I'm going to go for that one, I think.
Kinda is very different as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just so weird and imaginative.
Yeah.
But I am going to say either Blink or Family of Blood. And I was going to say Family of Blood, but you keep stealing my ideas today.
Yeah. Well, can I throw another one in?
What?
Heaven Sent.
Ooh, that is quite...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on the basis that it's only got the Doctor in it.
Yes.
Is that all of our questions?
And all of the show.
And all of the show. Crumbs. It's been lovely speaking to you all.
Yes.
What do we have running next week?
So it's episode 156 next week. And we are starting... Well, it's kind of... We've done a few monster analogies, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
We are continuing on the monster theme.
Ooh.
And the monster analogy theme.
What's it going to be? It's
going to be different. It's not going to be focusing on one villain. We're going to be next week focusing on the monsters and villains of the 1960s.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
And we'll be going through each of the decades, like Doctor through the decades, but not 10 years. We'll be doing monster analogy through the decades.
Okay, that sounds good.
Monsters through the decades.
We'll also be giving our thoughts on the Doctor Who episode that came from the randomizer, Journey's End, and
Stolen Earth.
Stolen Earth, all the other way around.
Stolen Earth,
Journey's End.
We have some more news and views.
We'll be presumably pressing the magic randomizer again.
And we will be here for another round of Who to Face.
So final little plug before we go, and well, it's a plug, but a plug which you can't plug yet. But we hopefully, as we speak, we're finishing editing the next Behind the Sofa. So hopefully that will be
Heaven Sent, Face the Raven, Heaven Sent, and Hell Bent. The conclusion for it's called the season 9 wrap up. So it's episode 18 of Behind the Sofa. And you can see that tonight. Probably.
Or tomorrow
morning,
depending if how we get on with
very early tomorrow morning, like about midday.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody.
See you. I'm Lewis Moon signing off, and we will see you next week. Thank you for listening.